Alright, here we are for another track guide. We're at New Hampshire, which is not one of my greatest tracks. I really don't like this place, but it's a hit or miss. Either I do well or not. Hopefully it's the first one. Anyways, keys to the race car. Tires as usual. 2, it's progressive banking. That's something I want to mention because of this car in particular. It does not like banking changes, but it's kind of necessary because that's the only way you're turning the car, and well, that's just how this track's always been. It's just a little wonky with that. Well, you heard me say it, stupid diffuser. Anyways, number 3, it's well, the fix set itself is pretty challenging, especially on the exits of corners. But it can be intimidating if you're really light on the brake into the corner. That may sound weird, but it seems to rotate more that way. And that's really all I can think of. So let's go ahead and get to pit road, then we'll talk about the lap. Alright, making our way to pit road. I threw it in the corner, downshifted, all the way down to second gear while I'm still on track. Keep it under this cone, and there you are. Let me fast forward this because it takes forever. There's your pit exit. Stay under this white line, yellow line, I don't know why I said that. And your blue cone is like right around this wall. Let me slow-mo that so you get a better view. There he is. And there you go. Onto the lap. Alright, here we are about to take our lap. Fix weather, fix weather. For some reason, give me a track temp of 120, which is pretty spicy. Lap time, I think, was a 30.799 or 30.8, if you will. Not the greatest lap, but it's what we gotta settle for. Only change I made to the fixed set was, I think, a steering ratio 287. That's just my preference. And the brakes, the rear cylinder I matched with the front one. I don't really remember what it was, but whatever the front one says, default, make the rear one say that 2, and it was like 46 on the brake bias, 46.4, something like that, somewhere in that range. So we'll just see how this lap was done, then we'll talk about it. And there we have it for that lap time. So let me back that up. So you can see in that lap I was shifting. That's just kind of how they have the gearing. Not short enough to stay in 5th. Not tall enough to stay in 4th. But it's really not that hard. Plus you get some benefits like engine braking. But besides that, let's make our way into 1. I forgot to mention it was the second lap, by the way. So let me slow-mo it when we get to the brake zone, which is somewhere around here. So I'm looking at these markers here. I'm in between the 2 and 3, and you can already see the first smidgen of red on the brakes. That's what I'm getting on them. And I'm already starting to turn in. So I'm under the 3rd one as we speak. We're approaching the 2nd one. There's that 2 marker right there. Hard on the brakes now, and I downshifted at that same point. And we're just gonna kind of make our way to that first dot there on the left of my car. Still using some trail brake to really whoa it up. Eventually we're gonna let it roll because we want it to drift up just a little bit. You know, nothing too crazy. Should be off the brakes completely at this point. Now we're waiting for it to start turning back down before we get some throttle, which will be right around here, I believe. No, not quite. There you go. That's when you feel it start to turn. We're going to start playing with the throttle because we're going through a couple transitions of banking here. And we're kind of doing the same thing we did in 1, but in reverse. We're going to try going from the top point and aiming back down to the second groove, if you will, where these first dots are. And then you can power out. Really, really careful on the steering. The car's a lot looser than it looked here. We're going to slow-mo again. We're looking more at the 2 again, but again at the 3 and 2 marker. A little bit later, we're going to be braking pretty hard at the 2. Downshifting, the same thing we did in 1. Except we're kind of turning in a little bit later. And we're going through the same motions here. We're going to trail brake. You know, let it roll up. And then we're going to dive back down. And what seems like the same groove. So again, you're letting it roll up. Once you feel it turn back down right here, we're going to use some throttle. Keep it down to the second groove, the line that's here, or those dots, and then same thing, power out. Car gets really loose on exit, especially bad in 4. And there you go. Alright, there we have it for this track guide. Tried to be as detailed as possible, but we'll be back for the next race, which I don't remember what it was, but we'll be there. Anyway, Simmers and Jury's Side.